guys, this is Josh with Homesteading Family. It is the end of August and we're just moving into major harvesting season. And it has been super busy around here. We've got construction projects going on. We've got family coming and going. And so I haven't made it out here a whole lot, but I wanted to do a quick garden tour with you because I haven't showed you in a while and there's a lot happening out here. And we're gonna see how much we can get harvest. We've got cucumbers to come in today. We've got beans to come in today. We've got onions to get in, carrots, and a whole lot of peas that have been drying on the vine. We've already had our pea harvest, but we've left some on the vine for drying, for seed for next year, and we've got to try to get those in as well. So let's take a look around and then let's see what we can get done. All right, so this is my wild, crazy corn patch. It has, besides corn, it has amaranth in it. It's got these awesome sunflowers. And we have, what else we've got going on here? Got a few weeds. And we've got squash. About 5, 6 different varieties of squash. How we doing here? Hey, there's some nice, these are pie pumpkins right here, called luxury pies. This is a red amaranth. Just absolutely love these guys. They're great for the birds and chickens. Corn's doing well. It's got a ways to go yet. A lot of tall sunflowers. We love these sunflowers. They feed the birds in the fall. We'll also give a lot of them to our chickens. Let's see, here's some more pumpkins in here. This is like a jungle getting through here. And so this is doing great. We don't have any harvesting to do in here yet, but it's coming along really, really nicely. And the bean tunnel. Lots of beans to harvest today. Wow, I'll bet you there are a couple bushels in here. We have some cabbages coming along. They're doing okay. A lot of broccoli in here. Most of the broccoli has been harvested. We like to let it keep growing and we keep harvesting little heads. And lots of beans. I got my work cut out for me. Love this bean tunnel. This just makes it so easy to harvest. Tomatoes are doing better than I thought they were gonna do. We're getting some ripening. The tomatoes really struggled this year along with the cucumbers. It was a very cool year, very cool summer. Tomatoes are a little tough up here in North Idaho anyways without a greenhouse, but there are a lot here. And so if the frost will hold off, we're actually gonna do pretty well. And a little trick, if you guys don't know, if they don't ripen, as long as they get far enough along and you're starting to get frosts, you can harvest them and either hang them on the vine, or what we like to do is put them in boxes, and you can actually store them in boxes. We've had tomatoes through December by storing them in a cool, dark place and going through them once a week, and they will actually self-ripen. And if we get into that situation this year, maybe we'll show you about that. A few tomatillos. Definitely got to do a tomatillo harvest. Cucumbers here. Cucumbers, they've struggled too. They really haven't liked this weather. But we have gotten a couple really good harvests off of them. Not a whole lot out here right now. But, and they've had some issues, but they're doing okay. And we've got quite a bit of pickles fermenting even now. All right, peppers are doing great. We got loaded up on peppers here again. Just didn't know how well they were gonna do this year, but they're coming on okay. We tried okra. Here's our one little poor okra. Yeah, okra doesn't do well in North Idaho, but we like it, so we always try, hoping we'll find a variety that'll work. And of course, zucchini. Zucchini always does well. And we got a little dill mixed in here. Yeah, love our dill and love having multiple species in the same row, a little bit of diversity. Ooh, my, I think we missed harvesting for a few days. Those are too big, but we'll use them. All right, and our lettuce beds, our succession beds, and they really slowed down growing, and but they're all doing fine. This is gonna keep us in lettuce at least through October. This area here that we have under tarp is just helping to decompose the last beds of lettuce, and we're gonna start planting spinach and some of the Asian greens in here that'll go real well into the cold weather. So on the right is the beet row. We've already harvested beets, amended the soil, and planted another row of beets, and we'll see how that goes. They was a little late, but they're actually growing pretty well. So we think we'll be able to get a good second harvest of beets. We have a couple here left over that we're gonna let go to seed, so we can harvest the seed of some of our favorite beets. On the left are the carrots, and we've harvested a bunch of carrots. We're gonna harvest a bunch today. And we've also planted down the middle, if you can see, a whole nother row. This is part of that succession planting. You can see the baby carrots all the way down the center here. And that'll give us another harvest later in the fall. We've still got, hopefully we can get 4 to 6 weeks before we have any kind of hard freeze. Right, this was the potato bed, which you saw we've harvested the potatoes, and we're just prepping this bed, gonna amend the soil and either mulch this and put it to rest for the season, or possibly plant a cover crop row in it. That's just more a matter of getting the time to do that. And then our peas. So like I said earlier, we've already harvested all our peas for consumption. Here we've left the vines to dry, and now we are ready to actually come in and harvest the peas for shelling and saving for seed. So that's a big job. There is a lot in there. And onions, leeks. Most of the onions are starting to fall over. We've got some leeks in here, but we've got a large onion, a lot of onions to harvest today. This kind of tangle of a mess right here are actually radishes that I let go to seed for saving the seed, which we will do, but we've got flea beetles. They're a major problem for us, and so I dusted these with diatomaceous earth. It doesn't wipe them out completely, but it does set them back. And you can see our onion tops are falling over, so they are ready to harvest as well. And we've got a nice charred patch going. It's ready to be thinned a little bit more, but it is looking good. And oh hey, let's check out the grapes. This is really exciting. Loving the grapes. We've got some multiple varieties of grapes in here, and these guys are starting to come on. Really excited about that. And a whole bunch more. These are smaller, different variety, but grapes are looking just wonderful. Okay, so there's a quick tour for you. A lot happening here, and let's get in here and see how much we can harvest today. Hey, I think maybe it's time for some tomatillo salsa. Wow, look at that. Abigail picked all those, 4 baskets. One bushel basket almost full, and I think we have another one down at the other end that's almost full. So I don't know if you heard Connor back there, but he was talking about how easy it is to miss the beans because they blend in. It's one of the things I love about these purple ones. I think this variety is a Q Blue that we planted, but besides that they taste really good, they're a lot easier to see when you're picking. So guys, you see one of the advantages of these bean tunnels is they're so easy to pick. And most of it's overhead or to your side. Everything's very easy to get to. And what we like to do is actually leave the lower couple rows, and we'll let those dry and harvest those beans for seed for next year. Another nice thing about the bean tunnel is you get to harvest mostly in the shade, and on a little better year, this was a pretty cool year, so the beans haven't completely filled in, but when this fills in, it's just completely shady, so you can be out here in the middle of the day harvesting, and it's nice and cool. It's a fun place to be. So if you've harvested very many beans, you know they're a challenge to get them all. It's so easy to miss them. We were just joking about how you go through, you pick an area, turn around, pick another area, and when you look back, you go, whoa, where'd they come from? There's a whole bunch of beans there. I thought I just picked that. And so it's easy to miss them. Like I was saying, the purple ones are really cool for that because they're easier to see. But another trick, which is really nice on this bean tunnel, because it has all these horizontal bars on it, is to just come through, pick a starting height, whether it's the top or the bottom, and just go by the bar and pick an area where you're standing and pick all of these that you see as far as you can reach without moving, and then you come back and you go to the next bar and you just work across. And so it's really methodical, and another way that these bean tunnels just make it really nice and easy to harvest the beans, and you can really see them real well if you use that pattern. It looks like somebody has already gotten most of this area. They're doing really good. I love it. Isn't this a fun place to be, guys? All right, look at that. That's some nice bean picking there, isn't it? About 2 bushels this morning. We're gonna take a break and then come back out and either get to onions or peas. What do you think? Onions. Onions. Onions next. Okay, let's take a break.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got a lot of beans in. And Carolyn's in there right now making up some fresh salsa from the tomatoes and onions and cilantro that came in. And now we've got to get these onions in right here. We got quite a bit of onions. So a couple things, just a couple tips on onions if you guys don't know. When to harvest onions. When they start falling over, about half of them, about 50% or so, when you see them starting to fall over, that means they're getting ready and they're about time for harvest. What you don't want to do is let them go to bulb. If they do happen to go to bulb on you, then you're going to want to use those a little more quickly. When you do harvest, they're not going to be great for storage. But try to get them as your onions start falling over. So we're going to bring them in, and then I'll show you after that where we're drying them. Oh, check that guy out. That is a dandy red onion. Now, another thing to know is not all onions store the same. So these red onions aren't storage onions. We're still going to cure them because they'll last for a while, but they're not going to last as long as the storage onions. We're growing the copra kind that are yellow onion, and I'll show you those when we get to them. Wow, this is a good onion harvest. We filled up 2 bushel baskets, 2.5 bushels, and we haven't even got all our short season sweet onions yet. You want to put them in there, sweetie? And we're gonna have to go up and hang these and come back and finish them off. This is exciting. Wow, this is quite a harvest day. You can see we've got all our onions hanging up to cure right back here. And I gotta move on to peas. We gotta get all the dried peas in. But hey, a couple tips right here for curing your onions. They need to be out of direct sunlight, not too cold, and they need to have good ventilation. So that's why they're hung up here on a cattle panel. So there's air can move through them and they can cure properly for the next 2 to 3 weeks before we prep them to then get them inside for wintertime storage. All right, let's get to the peas. Wow, all right, you guys, this has been a great day. We have gotten so much in. Let's see, we got several bushels of beans in, a bunch of cucumbers in and fermenting, some salsa made, all the peas harvested, and all the bushes taken down, and we will shred those and compost them. And you can see I mulched this row. I've still got to do the potato row, and we got all these onions in. Those are hanging up to dry. That's it. It's been a good day. So hope you guys are doing good. It's a late Saturday afternoon. I'm gonna go jump in the pond and cool off, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.